Well, welcome everyone to today's session. I did mention to a few people that I've got a lovely guest coming on board for me today, which I'm really excited about. So welcome to Your True Self. And today we're looking at, as we always are, so many of us have got amazing little skills that we can share and that we've often had to develop almost out of a necessity because our lives, especially for women, can get really impacted from having children and changing our career paths. Anyway, so obviously I'm Deb Courtney, and today I'd like to introduce to you my friend B, and I'm really bad. I won't say her name because I have tried before and I completely butcher it.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
It's not pretty.
Not pretty.
Your name's pretty, but the way I say it, it's not. So as a really uncouth Australian, we all call her B. But B, do you want to actually say your name in your beautiful native tongue?
So officially, my name is Bregtje. So that's why the is quite hard for people to pronounce yet. So yeah, it's B. But yeah, Bregtje.
Bregtje.
Bregtje. That's not too bad, actually.
Am I getting better?
Yeah, that was
it's only taken me almost 8 years or so, 9 years.
Yeah, it is 9 years already.
I know. So we sort of met, again, I've got so many amazing friends that we've met along the way in Broome, and have sort of found we're all so different. We've all come from really different backgrounds, but we've actually managed to just form some beautiful friendships. And ours was through Mothers Group.
Yes.
Yeah. So
my eldest and your youngest.
Yeah. And it's unusual because usually they don't have a mothers group for those that have had, more babies. It's usually the first group that you, or your first child that you develop a mothers group with. But for me, I'd left all the people I'd known and I was trying to bring up a child, and I didn't have any other contacts really, because my eldest had already, all the mums had kind of developed friendships there. I mean, I became friends with them, but it took a while. But so staying at home with two other younger ones, it was really hard to branch out and meet people. So I'm really, really grateful that I happened to be sitting next to someone at the Child Health Centre that said, come along to our mothers group. And I did, and I met you.
Yeah. Wise decision.
Very wise. Obviously going with the way the universe worked, and it turned out that person sitting next to me actually already knew my husband from 20 years ago, so it's quite coincidental.
Yeah, it works in mysterious ways sometimes.
Yeah, it does. And so you've now got 4 children.
I do now have 4 kids, yes. So obviously the eldest is now 9, and then a 7-year-old, and then twins that are 5.
So I have to take my hat off to you because you had 4 under 4 at one point, and I have no idea how you managed it. How did you manage it?
How did I? Being in your pool a lot, to be fair. I don't know. You just do what you have to do. You put your head down and you do what you have to do. And it's hard, but you meet some really nice people along the way that help, like yourself and like another friend of mine who was in the same boat with 3 kids on the floor. So you sort of bond together and you just cope. You do.
Yeah, it's amazing how women can cope. So I said you used your native tongue to actually say your name. So whereabouts are you originally from?
So I've born and raised in Holland or the Netherlands. And the upper northern parts. Holland is not very big, but I'm from Friesland originally.
Quite cold there?
Pardon?
So it's quite cold there in Friesland?
Oh, in Friesland it's freezing. Freezing cold. When I come, it must have been like 12 years ago now that I came to Australia. So been in Broome for 12 years, and 4 kids, 2 dogs, a couple of friends.
A few more than a couple. So what made you come to Australia?
So I met let's call him my husband because it's easier, but my partner, my fiance of now 9 years. We met in Cairns actually because I did my physiotherapy internship there.
Mhm.
So we met in Cairns. I finished my internship. We stayed in contact, and obviously I had to go back home, finished my degree. And after I did that, Gav decided to come to Holland for 3 months to see where it was all going. And after 3 months, we decided, well, this might be it.
Mhm.
So we decided, he went back home to Australia, and we decided that I would follow soon after.
Mm. So
So
love
for
over
love.
distances. Yeah, for love. So you were growing up in Friesland.
Freezing, yes,
And then
Friesland.
and you came here, and
Yep.
and then you ended up in Broome.
Yeah, I did. Of all places.
Total
Yeah.
extreme.
Yeah, because I arrived in December as well. So I went from my winter in December 2009. I came to Broome in the middle of a cyclone, actually.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
extreme. How did you feel being in a cyclone?
It wasn't too bad.
No.
It was dark and wet, and I'm quite used to dark and wet. The wind was a bit much, but yeah, other than that, no, it was fine.
All right.
But yeah, just the 30 odd degree difference was a bit of a culture shock. But yeah,
It was.
I was just happy to be here.
Yeah.
So really, if you're happy to be somewhere, it can storm and you can have all the bad things outside, but as long as you're happy, then and I was happy to be here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. And so what such a change and culture shock, and then, you know, on top of that, having children. So you were a trained physio?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just did the normal uni course in Holland.
Mhm.
Mostly I did my work in more the sports area, sports field. I worked in a gym. So I worked in a gym setting as a physio. A lot of back and neck problems. I basically worked on reconstructions, knees and hips and whatnot, just your normal ones as well. But yeah, mostly in a more of a sports setting.
Okay.
So that's where my most of my background lays. Yeah. So that's what I did in Holland. Yeah. So unfortunately, coming up here, I knew that was going to be an issue, that the degrees were different between here and Holland.
Yeah.
So I knew I had to re-qualify for my physio again, but life happened, kids happened.
It is a bit tricky when you're doing a conversion or wanting to sort of swap over.
Yeah, well, my biggest hurdle was the English language, basically. So that's where I got stuck straight away. You need to have quite a big range of English to be able to actually pass the IELTS test on the requirements that they have for physio. So I got stuck there. Yeah. Basically. So yeah.
I've heard that they're very tricky. I don't think you're the first person, but from students that I've had coming through, it's it's not a very easy sort of exam to get through. And English is a really difficult language.
It is, yeah. Especially it's mostly the writing I got stuck on. So everything else was fine, but the writing is really tricky. And unfortunately I just didn't pass, which is
but so it sort of potentially opened up something else, so which is what I wanted you to have a chat about, because you know me, I love lots of different ways of modalities of healing, and knowing that there's a huge wave other things out there that we can use or integrate into our own healing processes, whether it be mind, body or spirit. Yours is sort of working with the body?
It is very much working with the body. Yeah, I'll give you a little. Well, you know what it looks like, but there it is. So that's the PhysioK.
Yeah.
So you got two versions. You got the PhysioK and the PhysioK. PhysioK is more for the general public. Anyone can get a PhysioK. I've got the PhysioK, which requires you to have a bit more of a medical background. So because of my physiotherapy, I was able to do the PhysioK.
Yeah.
It's a electrostimulating device. So I think a lot of people have heard about the TENS machines, and they use that a lot in pregnant women and during births and whatnot as well.
Yeah.
I reckon Chris would bury me for this, but it's similar, but completely better and improved, and 10 times more options than the TENS machine.
Yeah.
But the general working of it is the same as a TENS machine. But one of the biggest differences is that the PhysioK is actually giving me feedback as the person treating the person.
Okay.
So it's a feedback machine. So
what's it feeding back with?
So it's sticky.
Right.
So if you've got people with neck pain, back pain, any sort of pain, if they can specifically point to it, you slide the machine, and wherever it gets stuck on the skin, you'll feel resistance. That's basically the feedback that the machine will give you in saying, look, there's something stuck here, something is out.
Yeah.
The machine will pick that up and will give me the feedback that it's sticky.
Right. Okay.
The skin actually physically gets sticky.
So with a TENS machine, obviously we're working on neural pathways.
Yep.
And so this was doing something similar.
So it is something similar. So you get the direct effect of it. So where you're working, you'll see that the blood flow will increase because it's got a direct influence on the blood vessels there. It'll give pain relief that way, just to get all the good stuff to the points that you want it, and divert all the toxins that are stuck in your body, will divert elsewhere.
Right. Okay.
So that's basically the direct effect, and the neural pathways is basically you're stimulating your skin, the blood vessels, the muscles underneath, everything, and that all goes towards your brain as neural pathways. So you'll get a more systemic response as well, which lasts longer.
Right.
So the effect will stay longer.
So what sorts of things can you be treating with it?
Oh, there's a really, really wide range of things that you can do. Just general soreness, or the whole body is sore. A lot of people come to you, it's like, oh, I just don't feel right. I don't feel well. Everything is sore. Those sort of problems you can treat very well with the PhysioK.
Right.
Frozen shoulders, reconstructions, you name it. I think there's not a lot that the PhysioK actually can't do in the sense of pain relief and assisting the body in healing.
And it's got a few different attachments as well, hasn't it? So you've got that silver plate on there, but you can...
Yeah, so this is just your normal flat surface, which is great to start off with. Then you've got this more spiky one.
Really dangerous.
No, it's really nice. It's really good for myofascial release. It goes a little bit deeper and it's a little bit more intense. Then you've got this one as well. This is quite a nice one for neck pains and whatnot. If I can get it out. So it's a little prawn.
Yeah.
Really good for trigger points.
Right.
So you can really get some pressure on there and really dig into muscles and trigger points, which is really good.
Yeah.
I've got another one. It's sort of similar to the spiky one, but it's got the 2 prongs.
Yes. Okay.
Which is really good for jaws, just the jaw muscle there.
Yeah.
And really good for under your feet as well. So plantar fasciitis and those sort of issues is really good with the 2 prongs.
Yeah, so that'd be, because a lot of people get that TMJ pain from, that's the stress.
Yeah.
For that, and clenching the jaw and stress related sort of.
Yeah, and a lot of people with neck pain, they tense up everywhere, so it's really good to really get into your jaw muscles as well. Yeah. So which is there
actually a good thing, because when you clenching your jaw too long, which I've found out because personally I've experienced it, building up a lot more bone in the inside of the mouth, which you don't need, but trying to support from that years of clenching and things like that. So people can work on the TMJs and not actually alter the inside growth plates, it would seem, and the inside of your mouth and the gum area. That's obviously a big side effect, so that would be really good. I know you treated my foot. I had an amazingly painful foot a couple of years ago that just couldn't figure out what was wrong with it, and within the first session with you, it just was amazing and relieved it almost completely, and I had just I think one more session and it was gone. So it does it's got really good results of like yourself with your foot. I've treated quite a few people now with plantar fasciitis, and it really does relieve quite a bit of pain for those people. A few frozen shoulders as well, and it just assists in getting their mobility back. And that with just the knowledge of physio and doing some normal exercises, it is a really, really good machine that does its job really well. And have you enjoyed like that different change? I know it's a slightly different change in your sort of idea of what career you were going to have, as a teenager, and your life change, moving countries and things. How are you finding that in like a job satisfaction? Because you do work somewhere else as well. But kind of, it was a bit of
it was
scary to start with.
It always, look, when you done the work and getting the degree and in the end you don't get to do it is quite heartbreaking. It hurts because it's something that I really like doing. I like helping people. I like seeing them doing the things that they love doing and being able to help them assist in getting back to that point again. It's really satisfying, and I love the job. So when you get given a gift of the PhysioK and the person that trains you up says, no, look, you can do the PhysioK and you can make a career out of it again, and just getting back into the whole helping people and seeing them improving is absolutely a joy, an absolute joy to be able to do that again, even though it's a couple of days a week. It's an absolute joy to do again. So I'm really grateful that I got recommended the PhysioK. So
So how did you actually overcome, do you reckon, that initial sort of fear that you would have to start something new? And is it going to work? We never know, really, do we? So quite a new concept that we. How did you think you overcome that?
Oh, look, it's very daunting But when I got given, or when I bought the PhysioK, you get trained. So it's not like you get the PhysioK and off you go. You do get the training. And I decided to do advanced training and myofascial in the end as well, just to get your confidence back up. I practiced on Gav, and I practiced on you, and I've practiced on a few other people before you start putting yourself out there. And sometimes it is just putting on a brave face and putting one foot in front of the other, and just trust yourself that you do have the knowledge to do it. Sort of fake it until you make it, but you don't have to fake it, because you know. But it's just putting on a brave face and just doing it. But it's hard. It's daunting. It's daunting. Out of my comfort zone.
As you said, this was today as well. Like, you were, this is out of my comfort zone. So, but what, the satisfaction that you get once you've gone through a comfort zone and got to the other side.
Look, the first time because I don't have an office space to do PhysioK, I just go to people and treat them at home. So the first time you knock on someone's door that you don't know, you're a bit like, well, okay, well, what do we do? How do I do this? And how do I set up? But the people that contacted you, they want someone professional, and I'm not in that age anymore where you stammer your way through it and look around, and you do your job, basically. And if you do just your standard course and your advanced course, and you've paid attention and you know what you're doing, then you should have just have to get over it and do it.
Trust in
Put
your
your fears
instincts.
aside. Yeah.
Trust in yourself.
Trust in yourself, which is a big one. That's something sometimes you just got to learn. That you'll be all right. You're just gonna, sometimes you'll fall, and you're just gonna have to get up and try again. And that's just the way it is. Because it's like every therapy, you get your good and your bad reactions. I mean, the PhysioK is absolutely amazing and does its job. And sometimes you need to take a little bit of a different path to get where you want to go. And that's the same with the PhysioK. You can do different sort of therapies with it. So if one doesn't work, you should not give up. You should just try a different avenue to get to the goal where you want to be. So it's, not giving up.
It works well with chronic and acute pain?
There's a big difference. I mean, acute pains get a lot faster results, and you treat them with different intensities. So the acute ones, you just treat them for 5-10 minutes, but a bit more regularly. And chronic pain, it's just going to take longer. People have been dealing with it for so long. You can't expect a chronic pain to go away within a couple of sessions. It's just going to take a bit more time, and a few longer sessions as well.
Because it really, I guess the trigger of the chronic pain to start with is usually it's been around, and so the cells within the body are reacting certain ways, and it takes a while for them to switch off and change the pathway effect. So it sometimes takes a while to actually find the source of a chronic pain. So say chronic pain of the lower back, but if you treat just the lower back, it's not going to help, because they'll have neck pain as well. And then because they've got neck pain, they've got shoulder pain. And because if they've got shoulder pain, it goes everywhere. So you sort of have to focus on exterior pain, and then you go towards the source. So it all takes a little bit longer. The good thing about the PhysioK is, though, you can treat the stomach
which is quite a big one. You don't always have to go straight to the source or where the pain is. You can treat the stomach as well, the gut.
Right. So because the gut's a huge part of our inflammatory process, our immune responses. So is that a little bit like reflexology, where, you know, part of your foot represents part of an organ within the body? Is that how the gut works as well, or is it just that you're stimulating the gut and its nerve endings?
Well, it's like you said, the second brain, isn't it? So it just, if the whole system is so alert and so on edge, you can actually treat the gut and saying, look, just try and relax everything. It's, what is it, the endocrine nervous system, endocrine nervous system, is that right?
So the parasympathetic, getting the parasympathetic nervous system to rest and digest nervous system. Yeah. And then the endocrine system for the release of the hormones and things like your cortisol and
that's right. So
release.
So is it PNS?
Parasympathetic nervous system.
So you can treat that more, just to calm the whole system down. Just everything. If your gut is not right, nothing really is right. So you can just the whole bowel system. If you're not in a good area there, basically you'll just feel yuck everywhere. So if you treat the gut, then that's a lot of people with chronic pain that just don't feel right. You'll go to the gut and treat that and see how they feel after that, which is good for babies with constipation as well. Sidetrack there, but
that's true. I mean, because you don't want to be giving lots of different medications to babies, really, and ideally, if a baby's being fed well, they shouldn't be constipated. Like
no,
but sometimes they could have been born in a real stressed state and already set off their sympathetic nervous system, or you know, or the mother's stressed and that,
which is a big one.
Which can affect the milk if they're feeding like breast milk, or moving over to that bottle feeding, that can be more constipating. So that's a really good one to know for new mums.
New mums out there, they get fussy when babies are not doing the regular thing as well. So and that's a challenge. So there's no age limit.
Yeah, that's great, because I know with the other thing with babies is, and that's one of the reasons I never really wanted to be a peds nurse, was A, I get upset when I see sick children, but B, they can't really tell. It's a bit like animals, they can't necessarily tell you what's wrong, whereas a grown person will go, it hurts here and it's doing this. So, but you're getting the feedback from the machine anyway, so you know you're in the right spot. Without them telling you.
So you can even treat dogs, cats, horses, all the animals. You can treat whenever, whatever basically you want. I've used it on Joshua a fair bit, my youngest son. Because he's very prone to ear infections. So I've used it a lot on Joshua and just putting it on his ear, which just calms him down and makes him sleep that little bit better.
And he's getting old enough to feed back to you. Does he tell you that it's working?
There was one, I don't know if you've seen that photo of him with the PhysioK on it with a big smile on his face.
Oh, no.
I don't know if you've seen that one.
Have a look. He's such a cutie. He cracks me up, that kid.
He's something.
He's something.
He's something.
No, so together. Oh, gosh. Come in.
So it's, look. So another good thing is that you can use it on kids, and the therapy actually doesn't hurt. So it's like a massage. Sometimes you need to really dig in, and it's hurting a lot. With PhysioK, it's not supposed to hurt. You need to feel it, yes, but it's not like you're cringing on my table with pain. because it's an electrical stimulation going through your body. It's not like that at all.
Yeah.
It is actually quite comfortable.
I think I always set mine too high when I try. I've got the lower grade version of the PhysioK, but I actually miss not having you do it for me. You're
Well,
so
it's a bit
much
hard
better
to do
at
your
it.
neck.
Yeah, and also you've got all the good attachments and you know where you're going and targeting. So I love that I've got one, but I do love having someone else be able to, really concentrate on it for me. So unfortunately you have to be in person though, don't you?
Pardon?
You have to be in person to do it, obviously. It's not one of those, there's certain modalities that you can do online and that, but this is a real physical touch type one. So, at this point it's something that you can do for brain people and all of that. But the world's your oyster a bit, really, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I take it wherever I go. When I went back home, I took it as well. I just took it back home and treated my mum. So yeah, I'll take it because it's small and you can use it wherever, whenever. I always pack it with me because Gav has got my partner has got bad migraines as well. So I use it on him with his migraines to help him out so he doesn't pop every pill in this house, which we don't want. No,
which affects your gut. I know you and I have done a cleanse together and like a 21-day detox, and the amazing difference that we both felt because we were addressing our gut and that whole brain fog and the constant headaches I used to get, which I don't get anymore since the very first one a few years ago. It's actually had a really lasting effect.
Huge difference.
And I think like we now know what to do for our bodies and listen to the bodies and know what sorts of foods really help that microbiome within the gut and what to avoid.
In saying that, I have to do another detox again soon, but
it's good to do it every so often anyway. I do too, but I think every 6 to 12 months is really great. But then if you can supplement, there are times we're going to get stressed or pain or whatever. If we can actually avoid putting something in the gut that could destroy it, which can set up a bit of a cycle, like all medications have a toxicity level. But if we could avoid doing that and can affect the liver, because a lot of the time it's processed through the liver for the medications, which is also our fat breaking down organ. So if we can avoid using those and use something like the PhysioK, we're actually looking at that from a really overall holistic point of view of treatment for someone.
And look, there are different protocols to, even with the PhysioK, help out the liver, help out the kidney functions. So there are different protocols to even assist in those things. So like I said, you can treat basically a lot, if not 45%, 95%. It doesn't have any contraindications, so it's like I said, age is not a factor. Gender obviously is not a factor. Pregnant or not, it's not advised to use it in the first trimester or directly on the belly. But other than that, neck pain, back pain and all that is fine to treat when you're pregnant.
Fantastic.
So I'm really grateful to have the machine. Even if I didn't have any people to treat it on, I would still use it on myself. Just because I can, basically. And it's reduces a lot of pain for just in my household with 6 people in it.
Very busy.
So it's a busy little household and people fall over in this house all the time, so it's growing pains.
Oh, that's so good. I just love exploring different ways of people being able to heal themselves or work on work on different modalities that are out there that aren't necessarily, going to have all those other side effects that you can have certain treatments. So, maybe even things like, does it work well with bone pain? Because obviously there's, people out there with bone pain, cancer, and does it work quite well with that sort of thing?
Yeah, it does. Look, it's a little bit more tricky because that's obviously a bit more complicated sort of pain and whatnot. But yeah, definitely it can work. Yeah, you can work on, instead of, you would work more systemically, so a bit more the whole body instead of focusing on the one spot. But there's been really good success stories with especially what Chris Mortensen does. He's got really good results in all of those things. I personally haven't treated anyone with bone pain or cancerous side effects of those. So I can't speak of that, but I surely do know that Chris has got really good results with that as well. To clarify, Chris Mortensen is a PhysioK, I believe, in Sydney. He's the one that does all the training of all the people that's got a PhysioK. So he goes around Australia training us all up. And he's basically the Australian guru of the PhysioK. Where
was it made? Like, where's it designed?
Germany. So it's a German product. It's a German product. And there's actually a new version out now.
Okay.
The Bregtje, it's called. So that's even a little bit more advanced than the PhysioK that I've got now. But he's obviously, because of the border restrictions and not being able to come into WA, I haven't been able to see it yet. But as soon as the borders open and you can come back to Perth, then I'll be there to have a look at that as well.
Yeah. Well, they do usually design pretty good medical equipment and things over in Germany.
They do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think I'm just really glad that there's someone like you out there doing that sort of treatment. Although at the moment you're, localized in Broome. I'm sure if anyone would like to fly you somewhere to help out, you'd be there.
I'll be there.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, look, hopefully it'd be good to expand to Derby and Fitzroy and Halls Creek and just do the surrounding areas to Broome. But that's just whenever I can sort of start organising that. But yeah, for now I'm in Broome.
Yeah, well, you're juggling that, you're juggling work, you're juggling children. So
that's
I think you're doing an amazing job so far, and it's really great that you're actually able to find something that really sort of lights you up, and you can see it lighting you up when you talk about it, compared to perhaps you're paid. Not your paid work.
Not paid.
You get paid for the physio.
My contracted work.
Yeah, your contracted work. And that's the difference I see when people can get into something that lights them up, even if it's just to start out in a couple of days a week. It kind of spurs you on to get through the rest of the week to get back to what it is that you really enjoy doing and helping people. Yeah,
and it's very rewarding. It's very rewarding, and I do very much enjoy that.
Well, I bet I can speak from experience. I know it's very rewarding for us in the sense that it actually does really help fix things, help heal the pain. I know I've been through that, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of your clients would be very grateful that you're around helping them as well. So what's the name of your business so people can actually look it up?
So Key Therapy, sorry.
What is it again?
Key to Health.
Key to Health.
That's it. I have to think about
put a link in there just so people really know where to go to find out where it is.
Yeah, God, I haven't really used my name that much anymore. I just sort of click and copy and paste and whatnot. Yeah, so Key to Health. So I'm mostly on Facebook.
Yeah. Okay, so people can have a little look on there.
Yeah.
They're in the broom surrounds. broom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just look it up and I'll be on there. Key to
Yeah.
Health. And all the information is on there.
Okay.
And if not, people can, my phone number is on there as well, so people can ring me up with questions if they want.
Yeah. And how many
Yeah,
people actually have it? How many in Australia?
Have what?
Yeah, like use the PhysioK as a treating, like.
Oh, look, I'm not too sure, but yeah, well, look, I'm the only one in the Kimberley. I know that. But if there's a few people in Perth that actually do it as well, in every city basically, and it's really spreading all over the world, because it's not just Australia and Germany when it's coming from, but it's basically everywhere right now. So
okay. Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how many.
All right. Well, it doesn't matter. They can all come and find you anyway. So if anyone's heading up to Broome for a holiday, because we can't really go too far at the moment, then you can always get in touch with Bea, and you're portable. So wherever someone is, if they're staying at a hotel or whatever, you'd be able to go and give some treatment while you're there, and really enjoy your stay and relax and treat yourself by getting Bea to come and help with anything that ails you, pretty much. That'd be great.
Yeah, happy to help.
Yeah.
Happy to help.
Well, thanks for joining me today. I know it was out of your comfort zone, but I'm loving that, there's so many women that are stepping out of their comfort zone, whether it be in career or just doing things like this, because, I know for me it was even out of my comfort zone initially. But thankfully it gets easier and easier the more that you do it. And you're so experienced with what you do, and your knowledge is it's always been there. It's just you've got to have the belief in yourself to use it and expand it.
Yes.
Sometimes a pathway we weren't really sure was there, and suddenly it opens up. So that's fantastic.
That's it.
Well,
we know more than
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So everyone, look up Key to Health. With this, if there's someone that that could actually benefit from this sort of treatment, helping with pain, I think, can you even use it for things like mastitis?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, I can't fix the mastitis as such, but it will help the pain.
Yeah. So mastitis obviously is an infection, but that relief of the pain, because if anyone has had it, it's, oh my lordy, can be quite painful.
Yeah. It's very painful. Yeah.
So if anyone's experienced that, and please share this with anyone that like and subscribe to this channel on Your True Self. And I'd love to get Bea's name out there more with being able to treat people from a holistic point of view, not necessarily harming their gut along the way. So if you can spread the word and spread that there's all sorts of beautiful modalities that can help people and integrate into what it is that you might already be doing as well, which would be great. So until next time, thanks for joining me.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.